class, students. Okay, great. We're gonna get started. Everybody can hear me okay? Good, see me, great. Okay, so good morning and welcome to Saturday Gentle Yoga practice. Now last week, I think only Debbie was in class last week, but I told this story about how in Ireland, they consider the mountaintop, and in many other cultures, to be this sacred place that has the ability to be very healing, and that people will literally carry their loved ones, their sick, up to the top of the mountain to be healed. And when they journey up, they go up one way, and when they come down the other side, they're different. There's a transformation that takes place. And I work with tarot a lot, and I do a year ahead spread every year. And my card for this month is the Hermit, which you can see here. It looks like this if you're not familiar. And it's a picture of, a hermit who is on the mountaintop, kind of shrouded with just a lantern, this internal light. And within the tarot, each card correlates to something in astrology. And the Hermit is the sign of Virgo, which is the sign of mutable earth. And what that means is really this shifting, this movable quality of the earth element. And what this card, one of the questions that it asks, or the medicine that it offers, is to inquire as to what do we do and how do we still stay grounded and anchor ourselves when the ground beneath us is moving, is shifting, when things in our life are uncertain, when our stability and the routines that we are kind of set in and rely on, when all of that changes, whether it's from our own volition or due to external circumstances. What is it that anchors us? And maybe it's your yoga practice. Maybe it's coming to your mat in a somewhat consistent way to keep yourself rooted, to keep yourself tethered to that part of yourself that is centered, that keeps you in the present moment in such a way that is has some equilibrium, right? To it. It could just be going outside. It could be your meditation practice. Some days it could be staying in bed. Some days it could be getting in the shower. What are the practices that we can do to anchor ourselves? So we're going to play with that today in your practice. So take a nice comfortable seat. You can move the flesh away from your sitting bones and sit up nice and tall. And welcome your breath. Take a moment to feel the ground beneath you. So feel the parts of your body that are literally touching the earth, that are touching your props, your mat, the floor, the ground. And see if consciously you could allow those parts to become a little more heavy, a little more rooted. If you're someone who likes to visualize, you could even visualize that you're being planted, that you're growing roots deep and wide into the earth beneath you, so that you're tethered, right, to the ground, to the earth element. And then from there, can you inhale? Lengthen the spine, roll yourself taller, let the crown of your head rise up towards the sky. Take your shoulders up, back, and down, and create more space and length and upliftedness in your upper body. From here, can you bring the very center of your head in line with the very base of your spine, lining up this central channel. For many of us, this requires kind of leaning back. There's a tendency to lean ourselves forward. And we settle back into something greater than ourselves. This idea of being supported by something higher, whatever that means to you. And so much of staying centered and anchoring in times of uncertainty is maintaining this connection of duality. How do we stay grounded to the earth in this physical, practical realm? And how do we stay connected to something greater than us, to our spiritual center, to our beliefs? From here, think about the qualities of an anchor. Heavy, weighted. Think about how when you drop an anchor, it moves straight down below. And can you find that quality here as you drop back and down into yourself? You could think about your inner awareness moving back and down, or even take your internal gaze back and down and notice if that changes anything. And where does your anchor land? Does it land right in the heart center, anchoring you to the opening of your own heart? Does it drop down lower to your solar plexus, anchoring you to your gut, to your instinct and intuition? Does the anchor drop down lower still, tethering you straight down to the earth for your root chakra? There's no right or wrong answer. Just notice where you feel the sensations in your body. And then from here, please draw your hands together in front of your heart. I invite you to set an intention for your practice today, and maybe it's just to anchor in this moment, in this practice. Maybe it's to use specific elements in your life to keep you anchored as you move through this day, this week, this month. Maybe it's just simply to remember to come back to your own heart, to come back to your own center. And let's seal in our intentions and begin our class with 3 cleansing breaths. Take a deep breath in. Let it go with a sigh. 2 more like that. Full breath in. Complete breath out. And 1 more cleansing breath. And then please drop your head to your heart, honoring yourself in advance for your practice today, bowing to yourself, and then slowly open your eyes and release your hands. So if you have a strap, we'll use a strap. Yeah. If you're at home, I forgot to tell you. If you're at home, you can use a belt or a scarf. And if you don't have anything, then that's fine too. You know, props are sometimes a luxury. We don't necessarily need them for our practice, but you're going to come down to lay on your back, have your strap on your body. And as you come to lay down, just take a minute, take a pause, take a beat, and feel your body on the earth. So sometimes just this is such a powerful practice. Sometimes just, laying down on the floor in your house and changing your perspective and getting connected to the energy of the earth and grounding can create a huge shift. From here, take a big full body stretch. You can reach your arms overhead, lengthen from your fingers to your toes. Maybe you lengthen the right side of your body, your right toes and right fingertips reach a little further away. Stretch, and then the same thing on the left side. Take a full breath in, and as you exhale, hug your right knee into your chest. So more and more, this is one of my favorite yoga poses. It's so simple, accessible to most people, very gentle, and so beneficial. A really powerful pose that helps us to digest, which is all based on the element of the earth, right? As we take in food and remove the energy, nutrients from it, and process the rest out through our bodies. This also helps to release the psoas muscle, which is where we store a lot of our deep-seated fears, our feelings of not being safe. So a simple pose like this can really help to anchor us, to ground us, to release charge that is not in alignment with our highest self, and to allow us to create a better flow of energy through the body and through our systems. If you have a strap, you'll take it over the ball of your right foot and extend your right leg straight up towards the sky. If you have tight hamstrings, straightening the leg here may not be available, and that's okay. You can keep the knee bent. But you work towards finding a straight leg and pressing up through your heel. Feel the weight even through the back of your pelvis on the ground, and then take both of the straps into your right hand. Bring your left hand to the top of your left thigh to encourage that side of your body to stay grounded and rooted. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, open your leg out to the right. Breathe. Can you stay weighted through the left side body? Keep the shoulder blades on the ground. Maybe you keep your right arm straight, press out through your right heel. Breathe. Inhale your leg back up through center. Change hands on the strap. Take your right arm out to a T or to cactus. Another big breath in as you exhale. Guide your leg across your body over to your left. You can roll onto the outside of your left hip. Notice if your right hip starts to hike up towards your rib cage, can you gently press that away, making more space through the right side body? If your right shoulder lifts up, that's fine. Just rest your right hand on your right rib cage. And then maybe you look out over your right shoulder. Inhale your leg back through center. Draw your low belly in, so you're protecting your low back by engaging your core, engaging your abdominal muscles. And then slowly walk your hands up your strap towards your foot. little curl, little crunch here. Keep pressing up through your heel. Breathe. Exhale, release. Bring your shoulders back down to the ground. Take the strap off of your foot. Keep the engagement in your core and slowly lower your leg all the way down to the earth. And once your right leg comes down, you just notice if there's a difference between your right and left side. Maybe the right side feels longer or lower to the earth. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, big full body stretch. Exhale, hug the left knee into your chest. And pause here to breathe. Keep hugging the knee in, squeezing and pressurizing. Notice what your tongue is doing in your mouth. Can you relax it down away from the roof of your mouth and the back of your teeth? So this sequence, this reclined leg sequence, is a great way to open and rebalance the root chakra, our base chakra, that we need in order to keep balanced energy through all of the rest of the chakra system. So if the root is out of whack, then all of the other chakras are the same. And our root chakra becomes imbalanced anytime we're stressed. Anytime we go into fight or flight or survival mode, anytime we're in fear or anxiety. In those energies, we immediately become disconnected from the earth. And we need to consciously work to reestablish that groundedness. Take the strap over the ball of your left foot and straighten your left leg towards the sky. Press up through your heel. Take a few breaths here and simply pause. Feel your pelvis even on the ground. Then take the straps into your left hand. Right hand comes down to your right thigh, right hip. Keep that rooted. Take an inhale and exhale. Open your leg out to the left. Breathe. See if you can keep your spine long and tall and not arch over to the left side. Keep pressing out through your left heel. And root and ground through the right side body. A few more breaths here. Inhale your leg back up through center. Change hands on the strap. Take your left arm out to a T or to cactus. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, guide your leg across your body over to the right. Roll onto your outer right hip. Pinky toe edge of the right foot comes down. Ideally here, you want your low back to be perpendicular to the earth. If your left shoulder lifts, just bring your left hand to your rib cage. Gently press the left hip and thigh
away from your rib cage, making more space through the left side body, and perhaps you look out over your left shoulder. Inhale back through center. Now draw your low belly in. Keep the engagement in your core and slowly walk your hands up your straps towards your foot. Breathe. Notice if you hold your breath. Exhale, release, and lower yourself back down. Remove the strap. Keep the engagement in your core, in your abdominals, as you slowly lower your leg all the way down to the ground. From here, bring the soles of your feet together, your knees wide, one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Inhale your knees back up to center. Let both knees into your chest. And give yourself a little massage here on the low back. Making circles in one direction and then the other. And then go ahead and roll to your right side. Come all the way back up to sit, finding a comfortable cross-legged position. And close your eyes here. Take a moment to notice your connection to the earth, to notice if you feel more grounded, more rooted, more anchored and stable. From here, bring your hands together in prayer in front of your heart. You can open your eyes and we'll move through a few rounds of breath of joy. So to do this, you'll inhale, interlace your fingers and lift your elbows. Exhale, press your palms away and round your back. Inhale, stretch your arms straight up, press up through your palms, maybe even look up. Exhale, float your arms down, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, stretch your arms away, lift your heart, lift your chest, look up. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Inhale, interlace your fingers, lift your elbow tips. Exhale, press the palms away, round your back. Inhale, stretch the arms up, reach up, look up. Exhale, float the arms down, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, stretch the arms away, lift your heart, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, around your back. Inhale, lift, look up. Exhale, float the arms down, interlace your hands behind you. Inhale, open up the heart, open up the chest. Exhale, hands back to heart center. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Great, let's make our way into downward facing dog. This may be your first down dog of the day, so you take your time getting there. See that your fingers are evenly spread, index fingers point straight ahead. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, press your thighs back, chest moves back towards your thighs. You can pedal out through your legs here, bending one knee, sending the opposite heel towards the earth. So in yoga, each pose, we want to check in with our foundation, with the parts of the body that are touching the ground. Can we anchor ourselves energetically to the earth through our hands, through our feet? And from there, can we draw energy up through the arms, through the legs, right into the pelvis? Right leg lifts as you inhale. Lunge it forward as you exhale. Take your time getting there. Right ankle is right under your right knee. Press your left eye up towards the sky. Keep your left hand down and inhale, sweep your right arm up. Twist towards your bent leg. Breathe. Exhale, release your right hand down, pivot your back heel to the earth. Find heel to arch alignment with your front heel to your back foot. Bring your right forearm up to your thigh, your left hand to your hip. Rotate your chest to the left, to whatever is facing the left side of your mat. So that right sitting bone wraps underneath you. You rotate your chest up. Left ribs move back, right ribs wrap forward. Curl the shoulders back, and then take your left arm out in line with your ear. Press into the pinky toe edge of your back foot and extend all the way out through your fingertips. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down, pivot your back heel up, move through downward facing dog. And you can decide to stay here in down dog. You could take a few breaths in child's pose, or you could move through a vinyasa, inhaling forward to a high plank. Knees can stay lifted or come down. Exhale to lower. Inhale, curl the shoulders back, coming into cobra. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. And then left leg lifts as you inhale. Lunge it forward as you exhale. Take your time, really step it up there. Comes up higher than you think. Left knee is right over the left ankle. So your shin is perpendicular to the ground. Keep your right hand down. Lift your left arm up as you twist. Press your right thigh high to the sky and hug your legs in towards each other. Curl back, lean back, open up. Breathe. Exhale, release your left hand down. Pivot your back heel to the ground, find that heel to arch alignment. Bring your left forearm onto your thigh, your right hand to your hip. Rotate your chest. Right ribs pull back, left ribs wrap forward. Lean back. Take your right arm out in line with your ear. Press down into the pinky toe edge of your right foot and extend all the way out through your right fingertips. Breathe. Think about your anchor here. Can you feel it in both of your feet? And can you feel it in your pelvis? Letting your pelvis anchor you down towards the earth. Be a strong connection of support to the ground. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down. Step back into downward facing dog. Same options here. Stay in down dog, come into child's pose, move through vinyasa. We'll all meet in child's pose. So you'll take your knees wide, big toes together, send your hips back towards your heels. Forehead can come down to the earth or to a block. Make your way back into downward facing dog. Right leg lifts once again as you inhale. Lunge it forward as you exhale. So same thing here, when you come into side angle again into Prasarabdhanasana. So back heel pivots down, right forearm to your thigh. Take your left arm out in line with your ear. Few breaths here. Then we're going to pulse and flow with our breath. So as you inhale, you'll cartwheel your arms up and come into reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Move with your breath here. And then see if you can keep the ground beneath you and your anchor through your pelvis. If you could keep that stable, even though there's movement, even though there's flow, it becomes more challenging. And then the next time you reverse your warrior, stay there. Breathe, lean back. Maybe bend a little more deeply through your front thigh. And then straighten your right leg. Keep leaning back. Inhale, float your arms up to a T. Exhale, reach your right fingertips forward. Come into triangle pose, Trikonasana. You could use a block here on the outside of your right shin. Both legs are straight, sturdy, strong. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Take a few breaths. Exhale, bend your right knee, cartwheel the arms down, downward facing dog. Same options here, feeling free to skip the vinyasa to stay down dog. Feeling free to pause and rest and reflect in child's. See what your body needs. And then from downward facing dog, you'll inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, lunge it forward. Take your time coming into side angle here. Put your back heel down, left forearm to your thigh, right arm out in line with your ear. And then from here, we'll find that flow. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle. Moving with your breath. And seeing if you can keep the stability and groundedness in your legs as if they were immobile, right? Like if the lower half of you was a statue, a stable tree trunk, and the upper half, the branches that flow the breeze. And then the next time you reverse your warrior, you'll stay there and you'll pause, breathe. Maybe you bend a little more deeply through your front thigh. And then press into your left foot, straighten your left leg, lean back, reverse triangle. Inhale, float your arms up to a T. Exhale, reach your left fingertips forward and find Trikonasana, triangle pose. You can use a block outside of your left shin. Gaze up into your right thumb. Breathe. Little bend into your left knee. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down. Pivot your back heel up. Downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa here. And once again, we'll meet in child pose. Connect to your breath. Make your way back into downward facing dog. Once again, right leg lifts as you inhale. This time you bring your right knee forward for pigeon. It moves towards your right wrist. Your shin crosses the mat. So the rule of thumb with pigeon is that your right knee needs to be outside of your right hip. And you work towards having your pelvis square or level to the mat in front of you. Walk your back toes back. You can point your toes or keep them tucked. Inhale, lift your chest. Hug your right hip in towards the midline. Heart stays open, and exhale. Find your fullest expression of pigeon. That could mean staying up on your fingertips or coming down on your forearms. Sometimes blocks are really, really nice here. And then you focus on melting the heart. Softening that space right behind the heart. And seeing where you can let go. Where can you surrender? Here, can you let your breath be your anchor? Can you allow any thoughts that make their way to the surface of the mind to sink back down, moving straight to the bottom of the lake? Can you release any tension in the body, clenching in the jaw, holding in the tongue? And then from here, you'll slowly make your way out of the pose. So if you modified and you're on your back, stay on your back. Unless you want to do pigeon differently on the second side. Otherwise, you'll move into down dog. Take your right leg high to the sky, open up your hip. Stack the right hip on top of the left, three-legged dog. See if you can level your armpits, your shoulders to your mat. Exhale, release. Then we'll switch sides. Left leg lifts as you inhale, bring your left knee forward for pigeon on the second side. Left knee comes outside of your left hip. Plug your legs in towards each other to try to level your pelvis towards the top of the mat. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, find your fullest expression of pigeon today, whatever happens for you. And once you arrive in the shape, can you melt the heart? Can you be open to receive? Letting go. Releasing. Softening. The beauty of mutable earth, of the earth element in movement, in motion, is that we can take this grounding energy and we can use it as a means to serve others, to be in service, to care for and support our family, our friends, our community. So the sign of Virgo is the sign of service, but it always tends to its own needs first. It's the energy of putting your own oxygen mask on so that then you can help others with theirs. So this quality of mutable earth asks us to stay connected to our anchor, to stay rooted and centered inside of ourselves, to stay still in the eye of the hurricane as life changes, moves, and thrashes around us. We come back to this center. We stay grounded. So take a few more breaths here, letting your breath be an anchor. And then in your own time, you'll slowly make your way back into downward facing dog. Take your left leg up to the sky, open up the hip, left hip stacks on top of the right. Shoulders stay level to the earth. Exhale, release. Come to sit. Both legs extended in front of you. Shake out the legs here. Move the flesh away from your sitting bones. And then hug the right knee into your chest. Cross your right foot over your left thigh. Bring your right hand behind you, close to your low back. Use this as a kickstand to see if you could straighten the spine a little bit more. Then inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, draw your belly in and twist. Gaze out over the right shoulder. Notice the parts of the body that are on the ground, the entire length of your left leg. Can you let that be heavy? Can you anchor into your support here? And then from there, grow yourself taller. From there, maybe you pulsate in the twist. As you inhale, there's a slight untwisting. As you exhale, maybe you twist a little more. Inhale to unwind, little twist in the other direction, little counter twist here. Inhale back to center. Take your right foot, bring it to the inside of your left thigh. Again, you could take your inner right thigh back, take the flesh away from the sitting bone, get more rooted. Bring your hands to free your left foot. So there's a little twist that happens here. The left ribs move back, the right ribs wrap forward. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale as you hinge from your hips and bow over your leg. You could use your strap here over the ball of your foot. You want your hands to connect to something. Strap, the ground, your leg. Inhale, walk your hands back in and switch sides. Extend your right leg long, hug your left knee in, cross your left foot over your right thigh, bring your left hand behind you, close to your low back. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine, right arm reaches, exhale to twist. Root down through your foundation. On every inhale, maybe there's a slight undoing of the twist. On every exhale, you come back into it. Inhale to unwind, little counter twist in the other direction. Inhale, unwind, take your left foot to your inner right thigh, bring your hands to frame your right leg. So here the right ribs move back, left ribs wrap forward. Inhale, get really tall. Exhale, bow forward over your right leg. And there's that same pulsation of energy here as you breathe in, you lengthen. Maybe you rise out of the forward fold just slightly, and as you exhale, bow back in. So even though our bodies are static, are holding this one shape, there's still this pulsation of the movement, this energy of shift and change. That when we move with it, it can take us deeper into ourselves. Inhale to rise. Take the soles of your feet together, your knees wide. Hands can come to your feet or to your ankles. Take your shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Bow forward and fold. Inhale to rise. Bring your hands to the backs of your thighs. Help your knees come back to center. And then come down onto your back for Shavasana. Feel your body heavy on the earth. Take a full breath in. Let it go with a sigh. And give yourself permission to surrender. To release everything that happened before this moment. Everything that's yet to come. Let your body be heavy and grounded. To let your heart and your soul be anchored. To fully relax into Shavasana. Very slowly begin to deepen your breath. Draw your awareness back into your body. You can invite in small movements with your fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. In your own time, reach your arms overhead, take a full body stretch. Hug your knees into your chest. Gently roll to your right side. Using the strength of your arms, make your way back up to find a comfortable seat. And once you arrive, close your eyes. Once again, drop your awareness back and down. Notice what feels different. What are the parts of you that are constant, steady, unchanging? And what are the parts of you that are mobile, adaptable, mutable, flexible? Connect to that place in your own heart that's always anchored, that's always stable. Your own unique bright light that's always lit. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart. Honoring that light and the light of each other. And connect back to your intention, feeling free to modify or change it in any way. And let's end our class and seal in our intentions with a final cleansing breath. Deep breath in. And let it go. Gently bow your head to your heart. The light within me recognizes and honors this very same light in each one of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for your practice today. It's so nice to be here with you.
Thank you.
Feel a little more grounded. I do.
I'm a little more open too.
Feel a little more open. All right. Thank you guys so much from home. So good to be here with you and see you, everybody.
Thanks, Erin. Have a nice weekend.
Have a great rest of your week.
You too.